Tough day. Our last match is Monsanto versus Saiyan, two players who have secured their spot in playoffs. And Saiyan, of course, with a 9-4 record, it may look like he hasn't secured #1 seed, but he indeed has, with a tiebreaker advantage over actually just over Bloodyface and Monsanto, I believe. Only because Monsanto's tiebreaker score isn't actually that strong right now. But, you know, it's something that I think is influential based off of the 4th place standings. As you were mentioning to me, TJ, like Monsanto with a win here puts himself definitively in 3rd and doesn't have to rely on tiebreakers for Frozen for 4th place.
Yes, that's correct. Right now, Frozen has 52 tiebreaker 2 points, and Monsanto has 45. Monsanto, they have a 1-1 tied record, so it would come down to that score. So if Monsanto were to lose here, he would be the 4th seed in the group. However, if Monsanto wins, he would jump all the way up to 2nd seed because he would enact that 3-way tie for 1st, and it would put Frozen in that bottom seed. So Frozen's probably watching this one closely as well because currently he has a slight edge over Monsanto if he were to lose in that tiebreaker matchup. So both for Monsanto and Frozen, even though Frozen's not specifically playing in this one, he's probably got his eyes on this one because the difference between 3rd and 4th seed means you either get a loss already going into the group stage where you get seeded automatically into the lower bracket, or you get to play from the beginning and have that double chances, have that 2 losses to fall back on. So pretty big matchup for implications of seeding. Saiyan, however, he's already locked in 1st seed. I know that he's been a pretty long time practice partner of Frozen, so maybe wants to win this one just to give Frozen a little bit of extra wiggle room going into the playoffs, but that's what they're playing for.
That's right. And with the Druid Protect, Druid ban from Monsanto, just trying to really respect that lineup from Saiyan, even though Priest is available. That's a lot of fear for what Monsanto's bringing because, you know, there is that Reno Hunter from Just Saiyan. That's going to be a very interesting one if it ends up becoming a fact this series. Looks like we're going to start off with Monsanto on Warrior to start things off. Monsanto also has Aggro Shaman, so there's a couple of weird 4th decks here for both lineups.
Aggro Shaman came in hot yesterday and took a very big win over Priest in Monsanto's series. Despite his Thunderhead being silenced, he's still able to land a Sea Giant very early on in the game. I believe it was turn 6, which was pretty crucial in his ability to thwart the Priest. But a matchup that I was curious about and a matchup that I'm excited to watch for Game 1. It is going to be the Warrior versus the Highlander Hunter. The Highlander Hunter, which we saw Muzzy earlier, absolutely demolish Gallon's Druid. Very cool to see, and I like the unique decks coming in and trying to make waves in the final week of the regular season.
That's right. So we're going to start things off. Our final best of 3 of the regular season. Saiyan on the aggressive Reno Hunter, the mech variant that has a lot of power and proactive plays, less on the secrets. Monsanto on the Control Warrior. I really hope we get to see all of their interesting decks to wrap it up with the Aggro Shaman and the Highlander Hunter. Monsanto trying to pull himself out of that 4th place spot and effectively deal, you know, it's almost kind of like winning the series in playoffs preemptively, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, just by winning this series, you effectively have won a series.
Right. Otherwise, if you lose a series, you also kind of start off your playoffs with a loss.
Yeah. So this is, for all intents and purposes, this is playoffs.
This is a preview of playoffs.
Yeah. Except for Saiyan, who it doesn't matter for him at all, but he's just
well, it's extra money.
Extra money, yeah. $500 for each win in Grandmasters.
He can also help out a buddy.
Yeah.
By winning, he helps out Frozen. Turn 1, Eternium Rover. Just Saiyan with the pass. No Mecharoo. I wonder if this is a hand where Saiyan's going to play Zephyrs on curve and then do stuff. But he does have the ability to Nightmare Amalgam on 2 and then have the 3-4 dominate the board. Monsanto could also go the same path as we saw with Amnesiac, where he had an opportunity to play Town Crier on 2, but instead of trying to just grab tempo immediately, set up for a Shield Slam in hand.
Yeah, there's not as many like big break points as there are against Priest. I think in this matchup, having more attackers can sometimes be beneficial, and especially since that turn 1 is an Eternium Rover, it gives him the ability to attack in anyway. You're not really going to be facing anything more than 4 health. But Nightmare Amalgam is kind of the exact punishment situation where if he had armored up last turn, he'd have a nice, clean armor up Shield Slam, protect this Eternium Rover on board, and maybe even next turn be able to roll into Town Crier plus Snip Snap to try and really ramp up that early board presence from the Warrior side.
I mean, he still does have his Snip Snap here to help trade. It's still very good.
Yeah.
And he does gain a little bit of armor. If anything, the way this pan out is favoring Monsanto in the early game.
But Octosari is in the hand.
Octosari is good. I mean, I feel like you're kind of joking, TJ, but it is pretty good.
No, I'm not joking. I have a light tone because Octosari is just a cool card, and you know it's funny that players kind of memed on it when the Octosari was revealed, and not many players thought it would fit in a competitive deck, but it's made its way into these aggressive Highlander decks, and it's a massive deal because these decks that don't have the consistency of 2-ups in their deck, they don't have consistency of draw, they need bursts of resources at some point in the game, and Octosari fits that role perfectly. It's also an 8-8. Everything's 8.
Sorry, not Octosari. Monsanto picks up the Restless Mummy, which is something that Zane was probably thinking about anyways when the Town Crier was first played.
So a couple ways to go about this. Monsanto can just trade Restless Mummy and leave 2 3-1s on board. The Eternium Rover having a Death Rattle. He can also just armor up Shield Slam and keep pushing with this Eternium Rover. He's rolling into Ziliax, which means that he can answer whatever play Saiyan makes on turn 4 with, 6 damage and Divine Shield magnetize onto the Eternium Rover. I wonder, though, if Monsanto thinks that this is a Shield Slam situation. Oh.
Okay. This is one of the plays I was not expecting, but it ends up being very good against Houndmaster.
Oh, yeah. Because it doesn't trade into the Eternium Rover, and if Saiyan decides to go face...
It's brilliant against Houndmaster.
Yeah, if Saiyan decides to go face, then an Restless Mummy just deals with this so cleanly.
Yeah.
Earthshock!
Earthshock against this is pretty nasty.
Oh, the punish!
Yeah, like Monsanto set up really nicely against Houndmaster. I wasn't even spotting this play whatsoever.
But
the Restless Mummy?
So Monsanto played really nicely into the Houndmaster, but Just Saiyan knows that, or is pretty confident that Restless Mummy is there. So he's not going to play Houndmaster and play right into a Restless Mummy.
Right.
Maybe that's his only play, and that's what Monsanto's hoping for, but...
What now?
That Earthshock, very good. And Saiyan is actually incentivized to kind of dump these resources from his hand.
Right.
Because he has Octosari for the reload. So
yes.
He can fight for tempo super aggressively early on, and then just Octosari if he runs out of stuff.
Monsanto does have a Spellbreaker in the deck, but, that's a one of. So is Octosari. And Saiyan picking up that Ziliax, also a pretty nice acquisition there, given that he has Ziliax to follow up on this Mecha route on board. The Restless Mummy is anticipated. And interestingly enough, Saiyan sees the Restless Mummy that was picked up off the right side. He might have a slight read that there's a Ziliax in hand too. Ziliax can also be used apart from the Mecha-Roo. Instead of making it a 4-3, you just have a 3-2 go for the trade and just keep your stuff separate. If he anticipates another Restless Mummy, though, that might actually be better against Restless Mummy number 2. Because the Ziliax is a 4/3, and it still dies to the first attack of Restless Mummy. So Ziliax separate is better against the second Restless Mummy.
Job done.
This is also oh, wow. This is tempting to Spellbreaker. And it could be what Saiyan's thinking about, too. Like, Spellbreaker just baits it out first.
Yeah. Weird kind of thinking when you're like, yeah, I would be happy if we Spellbreakered and completely ruined my tempo if it meant that I get to jam an Octosari later in the game that I know will stick.
Right, but Monsanto does have Ziliax as well. And so what I was thinking was that if Monsanto had Ziliax, Saiyan would just lose the 3-2 and still have the 1-1 death rattle. But by doing this, he only has the 1-1 after the Joey bot. Oh my goodness.
Beta Arrow, the natural predator to Ziliax.
Oof.
Very good pickup from Saiyan.
Highlander decks, TJ.
I mean, you know, at the World Championship this past year, players were putting Beta Arrow in mid-range Hunter specifically because Ziliax was played in almost every deck. It was a cool adaptation to the metagame where Beta Arrow wasn't really played for a very long time, months, despite it being available.
Whew. Desert Spear and Houndmaster is a possibility. That Ursatron is also pretty good because it's resilient against Dynamatic. But
Yeah.
Houndmaster does put 6 non-mech health on the board. So pretty hard to turn down.
Yeah, I think you don't want to play Ursatron for the fact that you want Octosari to get maximum value. Because if you play Ursatron, then you have this Houndmaster that's tough to use in hand.
Oh my goodness. Harrison Jones.
Woo!
Card draw is super important for Monsanto to be able to lock this down. Saiyan's like,
No, he had 2-card combo that drew him 3 cards. I have a 1-card combo that draws me 8 cards. Likely we'll get Spellbreaker though.
yeah, the Spellbreaker I think is devastating.
And outside of that, Saiyan's hand is looking very meek.
Well, he does have Ursatron to draw on Snip Snap, and he actually can even force Snip Snap or have Snip Snap be played so that Spellbreaker is more likely to hit a Snip Snap.
Well, Dan, he could also draw Upgradable Framebot, Venomizer, Spidertron, Replicating Menace, or Wargear from Ursatron.
You're right. I'm thinking about Ursatron in the context of normal Highlander.
He's got a lot more mechs. Ursatron drawing Snip Snap and Ursatron drawing Upgradable Framebot tells 2 very different stories.
Monsanto parting ways with the second Shield Slam. Probably didn't want to have to use it. I think Saiyan here contemplating if he wants to Ursatron Deadly Shot or just drop the Octosari. Second Shield Slam was used. It makes it feel like Octosari is also still pretty good. Here's the thing, though. Spellbreaker is all well and good, but it's still an 8/8 on the board. Is it Octo Daddy time? It is.
Job done.
Saiyan with the push. Monsanto wants to Spellbreaker this 100%, and actually with the Plague of Wrath has a full board clear.
Your magic shall not save you.
Saiyan's like, okay, well that stinks, but please don't kill it.
There's so many ways.
There's a lot of ways. And Plague of Wrath shutting down everything. Spellbreaker stays alive. Oof. Crazed Alchemist.
Oh, this hand looks so much more sad without 6 more cards.
Yeah. Ugh. The one of Spellbreaker. I'm reminded of the article of Brian Kibler when he was back when Silence was a lot more prevalent. Iron Beak Owl was 2 mana. Keeper of the Grove was a lot more accessible. Hex was 3 mana.
We also had Song Stealer, Cabal Song Stealer.
Sure, right. There was just like a lot of other Silence in the meta, and Kibler wrote an article about how Silence is just like inherently anti-fun because it's just like your cards don't get to do the things that you want it to do. And
it's exacerbated if you're Brian Kibler because he plays fun decks that
are
Silence
dependent.
ruins.
Yeah, well, I mean, he plays. Brian Kibler likes to play decks that are often dependent on his opponent not having removal.
Yeah.
He plays like really greedy mid-range deck. That's the one thing I've noted about him. It makes it fun to watch a stream, though. 'Cause when it works, it's glorious. That being said, the Silence shutting down the Octosari, no fun allowed for Saiyan. And he is going to be struggling for cards for the rest of this game here. Can't even spend his mana appropriately. There's no Zul'jin to fall back on either.
Yeah, does still have some heavy hitters left in his deck. He has Jaime, Wargear, Dino Tamer Bran, Siamat. But Zephyrus.
It's a weird world where Warrior's like so much deeper in the card draw than their opponent as a control deck. But it really do be like that sometimes. Are you laughing because it just looks so pitiful?
I know it does. These 2 matches tell a completely different story. The one from Muzzy earlier and this one from Saiyan.
It's not designed to beat the Warrior, I think, though.
Yeah.
Highlander Hunter already is debatable if it actually beats Warrior, and then if you're playing the mech package, I think it requires a much faster start from Saiyan and a much slower start from Monsanto. Monsanto had like the goods.
Yeah.
He had Returning Rover and Town Crier and like all the removal and card draw. There's really not much else you can ask for as a control warrior.
Yeah, it's, you know, there's weaknesses to both, where I think this one has, you know, better matchups against, you know, let's say Priest and Druid, whereas the other one has better matchups against like Warrior and maybe even, maybe not Shaman. I don't know. It's just a different adaptation, but it can get onto the board much faster and snowball the board much better. But once it loses the board, its ability to come back is limited with no Unleash the Hounds, Unleash the Bees, Zul'jin, ways to kind of reload outside of Octosari.
Monsanto in firm control. Our Megadilla doesn't hit anything, but that's okay. He just wants to get stuff in the way of Bran. Venomizer.
I mean, that's something.
Yeah. It doesn't die to a Dynamatic. It doesn't really die to the Whelps. I mean, kind of effective in this position. Saying evaluating the worth of tempoing out a Spellbreaker. Probably still good to have it just in case. Whew, Weapons Project. The complete shutdown.
Yeah, since Saiyan is the one who values the tempo more, and since Monsanto has a bunch of control tools left, he's fine with giving Saiyan the 2/3 weapon because Monsanto wants to use it more to help clean up the board. And he sold 31. Plenty of health to work with. There is an Eaglehorn bow. No, there's not. I thought Muzzy played Eaglehorn bow. Maybe I'm wrong.
There's
no
no
secrets.
a lot weaker without secrets.
It's a lot weaker without secrets, but it's still decent.
Wow, Monsanto really taking his time and thinking about this. Really trying to map out the pan out of how things would happen if Saiyan drew the ideal card.
Yeah, he's trying to think, you know, what happens if Saiyan draws Snip Snap, which would be the ultimate punish to this, but then he has Plague of Wrath and Warpath to be able to clean up both sides of it. Like, he was thinking, is there any reason why I have to do anything?
Zephyrus is still a card. Siamat's still a card.
He's already used the Zephyrus on the
Right.
Earth Shock, so Siamat is, and I don't think there's any other elementals in the deck. No, there is not.
I would not have helped if I was Monsanto on the weapons project. Saiyan doesn't play a Harrison Jones, so it's not like he's anticipating any weapon removal.
Yeah.
This Dynamatic is much better now. Monsanto again, just really taking his time here. I think if you go for a Dynamatic, you start to have board dominance, which is important. It seems like Monsanto is really afraid of like Saiyan forcing out removal and then playing the Dino Tamer Brand, because Saiyan's been holding a card on his left. He's been holding the Spellbreaker for forever.
Yes.
And Monsanto's like, well, what do I do if that's the Brand? Do I just Whirlwind Plague of Wrath? But then I'm out of removal. And then if I'm out of removal, if he plays another mid-sized threat, I think I'm dead.
And now he knows the Tiamat's there.
Right.
Because the only elemental left in Saiyan Binder is Dead Giveaway. So he's going to want to try and be really greedy with what he has left to make sure that he has answers to everything that Saiyan can do over the next couple of turns.
Yeah. Spider Bomb. So Saiyan now has an opportunity to set up the Tiamat in a position of success. And interestingly enough, because Monsanto didn't play the Dynamatic, it makes it so that Tiamat is less likely to survive. I'm trying to think if there's like a Warpath Dynamatic setup.
Well,
I think there is. If Saiyan plays the Tiamat with Divine Shield and plus whatever, Monsanto double Warpath Dynamatic clears everything.
There's one outcome that doesn't. Oh, no, because, yeah, he double Warpath and clears, yeah, because there'd only be 6 health left. So I was thinking there'd be 7 health left, in which case it could leave both minis at 1 health. That can't be the case with them.
Yep, this is Divine Shield and both have the Wind Fury.
Yep, and Monsanto has the answer. He will have to take 6, most likely.
You can also just hit the 2-1 after the double Warpath.
For some reason I always assume that Tiamat has Taunt.
And yeah, funny enough, it's like almost better if Saiyan had Taunt and Divine Shield instead of Wind Fury.
If he knew like Warpath Dynamatic was there, then
right.
Yeah, because at least that would be guaranteed 6 instead of the possibility of 12. Not a guaranteed 6, because there's always like that weird percentage chance that it just hits Tiamat 5 times. But
Careful play, very meticulous from Monsanto. Well done so far. Kill command. Doesn't seem like Saiyan's gonna be able to get much out of this Spellbreaker. I think he's returning the favor, which is using his life as a resource, just like Monsanto was. Monsanto picks up Warpath again.
there's this weird situation where if Dr. Boom's like Monsanto's last card, Saiyan could time his Dino Tamer brand to the point where he can deny Elysiana.
Is he gonna Elysiana now? I mean, it is a 9 mana 7/7.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you could wait one more turn before you go that if you draw like a dead card, like only removal next turn. But I think Dr. Boom and Genius is just too important.
The goods.
You'll find me wherever the action is.
But I think this might be the point where Saiyan starts to flounder a lot, because I think after this Dino Tamer brand, what other threats does he have? I guess he has like...
His High Main, War Gear, Replicating Menace, Houndmaster Shaw, Snip Snap,
Yeah, I mean...
Headhunter's Hatchet, Tracking, Shimmerfly.
You're just saying all the cards now. I'm thinking about like the threats, and the High Main is a big one.
The High Main is a big one.
I wonder.
High Main connects face twice, kill command, couple hero powers.
Monsanto's not going to deal with High Main easily without his Omega Devastator.
Yeah. He doesn't even have Omega Devastator in his deck.
You're right.
He could get it from Dr. Boom Mad Genius. No Omega Assembly either. This is a very removal heavy version of the deck. Very like guaranteed removal heavy.
having a hard time imagining Monsanto not using Plague of Wrath here. I think he's wondering if he can get away with not using it, but I don't think you want to take another 10. And I don't think Warpath is worth risking. Or, sorry, Brawl is worth risking.
Yeah.
Five cards left in Monsanto's deck. Saiyan needs to keep putting out the threats here. Oof.
Oof, indeed.
Now that you've put the King Crush pressure on, and you know Monsanto is very likely to have Dr. Boom Mad Genius in hand, it's now the time to drop the Spellbreaker and hope that you can get some board presence. There's still also the threat of a follow-up minions being played from Monsanto.
He has a 2 Warden left in the deck, so that's a minion. He also has, obviously, Dr. Mad Genius can get you any number of things. I am seeing a couple of pan-outs that Saiyan can use. He has a Shimmerfly left in the deck. There's a world where he gets Dire Frenzy from Shimmerfly and plops it on a Savannah High main, and then just, you know, stacks 9/8s with Death Rattle over multiple turns. Like there are some outs, but they are very limited.
There's the Snip Snap.
Snip Snap is one of them. Snip Snap, very good.
Yeah. And stacking it tall and wide makes it hard for Monsanto to deal with entirely.
Yeah, I think that going for the triple Snip Snap on a single target is good. He's seen every rush minion. Oh no, he hasn't seen one Restless Mummy.
Yeah, actually he knew it was drawn 2 because of the 1/2. But it's going to force Restless Mummy and the Hero Power, which isn't enough to kill. Actually, it is enough to kill everything because the Warpath will deal 1 damage to the 4/3, so a force removal. Monsanto just barely having enough every single time. He can also just forego the Restless Mummy this turn and go for a 2 Warden play, but then he's giving up his 3/6 to an easy Crab. The Crab's going to snack TJ.
Yeah. And then there's like if you narrow down what's left in the deck, like Spider Bomb and Howlmaster Shaw, like that plus the Spellbreaker lasts a 6 damage for Snip Snap to connect to face.
Yep, so the clear is to Restless Mummy, attack the 6/9. Nice. And then Restless Mummy attacks again, then you zap it, then you Warpath, and then you hit the 4/2 with your weapons project.
There's also a world where Saiyan just keeps hero powering every turn, and Monsanto never gets blasted. He only needs 11 more turns. 10 if you account for kill command. Actually, 9 if you account for kill command.
Well, he's also hitting himself for 4/2.
Yeah, I accounted for that, yeah.
Okay.
So he'd be at 21 after this. So kill command 18 and then 9 turns of hero powers. Boom. Ah, okay. Now we got a lot more.
War Gear. War Gear, serious business.
Yeah. And Monsanto's last couple cards are not super impactful with the current board state. He has a Brawl and an Acolyte of Pain, I believe.
Yeah, and this War Gear doesn't get answered by 3/6s.
Nope.
Inconveniently statted. Oh my! Monsanto doesn't have. He has the 2 Warden and not do anything.
This got a lot closer, Dan. This,
I can't believe how much Saiyan's been able to bring this. I thought this was over. Saiyan's brought this all the way back to potentially close it, because if he draws High Main.
he also has, Howlmaster Shaw, Replicating Menace, Shimmerfly, Headhunter's Hatchet, Tracking, and High Main.
And a High Main. Now the thing is, he knows that there's still a Brawl in the deck.
Yeah.
And Brawl guaranteed. So if you Spring Pause, kill commands, hits a 3/6, it's still kind of threatening the same thing against Monsanto, who has to react to this.
Yeah.
So I like this kill command. I don't know if he plays high main with a 6 mana.
And the last card for Monsanto is a second Brawl,
Right.
which doesn't help him deal with this minion on board. Like, this has to be an Elysiana turn.
Right, so that means he takes 7.
Yep.
This story deserves a new ending.
Blastmaster Boom, that doesn't do anything by itself.
No.
Venture Co?
That could punish you, though.
So Razorfin Hunter?
That could punish you just by being a bad card.
But I mean, it has Brawl, so it adds value.
Yeah, I guess.
For a master plan.
Oh, no.
Hollowmancer is actually very good against high main. Snip Snap.
Okay, Snip Snap is the juice.
But if he draws it, oh, Amp Operative.
Is there any mechs left?
Yeah, there's one on his side of the board. War Gear.
Oh, yeah. In the deck, there is a replicating menace left. Nice.
Emperor Cobra. Harvest Golem.
Or Living Monument, just to put in the way.
True, just 10-10. I think
Yeah.
at this point, Monsanto's big limiting factor is whether or not he draws the card he wants to. If he just picks, like, Razorfin Hunter... Wow. Okay, so he knows Brawl is up.
Yes.
He knows that Zap is there, too.
Do you just push damage?
24. Yeah, I think you got to hit face. I think the only way you win here is if you hero power them down. Living Monument. I don't know if that's actually a good draw here. But Monsanto can now hit the 6-5 and Brawl. And chances are he's going to be able to clean up. Either his 7-1 survives, a 2-2 survives, and either one of those, he's in a good spot. However, if the mech survives, he's in trouble. Another option he has is to simply trade into the 7-4 and play Living Monument.
Yeah. The death threat on this War Gear is the Spider Bomb. So if his 7-1 wins the Brawl, it dies. But I think you're just happy with you winning the Brawl at that point. You don't care about 7-1. Living Monument, if you narrow down the cards in the deck, I don't think that there's a way to get through the Living Monument and push damage. There is he knows that one card in hand is Lynx. There is still Houndmaster Shaw, so that complicates things, maybe?
The Living Monument. Oof. And the Kaboom! The Kaboom, which challenges his entire hand!
Also, it puts Saiyan on a clock.
Well, yeah, that's for sure.
Because Saiyan's clock is long.
Yeah, Sam was really hoping that Monsanto had to go for a Brawl.
Yeah.
But this might just be Shimmerfly and hope that he gets a really good spell off of it. It's a week early, TJ. Because if Call of the Wild was in standard and you could pull it off the Shimmerfly, what a world that would be, huh?
There's still some stuff that he can get. Dire Frenzy would be interesting because he's likely to have a beast at the end of this turn. At least to just kind of delay fatigue.
Oh, Dire Frenzy. Dire Frenzy on the high main?
Kill command shortens the clock. Arcane shot.
Hey, speak to me.
Extra damage. This is actually something I was wondering if Saiyan should trade into the 10-9. Tracking the last cards are in his deck.
Headhunter's
Hatchet
and Houndmaster Shaw.
Oh, the Shaw.
But then he quickens fatigue.
Yep.
I wonder.
So the Replicating Menace deals 6 damage. Ah, the Replicating Menace deals 6 damage. And the Arcane Shot deals 2. That Living Monument. I'm not seeing it, TJ.
Nope.
You need that high main to hit face just one time. And even then, it'd still be close, right? Because he's at Monsanto's at 7 with the threat of Blast Shield, and he doesn't have the game-ending damage.
Yeah, Monsanto has lethal set up here.
Yeah, he needs to do this. And I think Satan is going to recognize that with 2 brawls in hand, the microbots, I think that's guaranteed.
I'm out of cards. My pack will hunt you down.
And he wasn't even able to squeeze in a hero power there.
Yep, that should do it. Snip, snap. I mean, that's just icing on the cake. Satan was hoping that Houndmaster Shaw would go uncontested, but that's not going to be the case here.
Yeah, if Monsanto was forced to brawl here because his other Elysiana choices were dead, and he couldn't kill Houndmaster Shaw. Houndmaster Shaw lives. He's at effective 8. Then maybe Saiyan has enough time to get 3 more turns of hero powers in the arcane shot. But that's wishful thinking. That's hoping that Monsanto's choices from Elysiana were atrocious. And it's also hoping that Monsanto, in the next 3 turns, does not just draw the Living Monument, the second Living Monument.
Just watch Satan's face when Sipsnet gets revealed. Oh, never mind.
I mean, at that point, he's like, there's almost 0 chance I win from this point anyway. The snip snap is a foregone conclusion right now.
I saw the way he was reacting to Living Mind. I was like, oh no, is he about to witness the snip snap, which is like the best minion that you can get usually.
That was really cool, though. That was really cool, though.
A lot of game from that deck.
Yeah. It went the distance, which without Zul Jin is kind of surprising because you just don't have any burst of resources whatsoever. He just hero powered and play the thing each turn.
Yeah,
Hero power, play the thing.
Didn't
Hero power, play the thing.
activate that turn or that game.
Didn't activate. It also died the turn it was played. So
yeah, there you go. Well, that wraps up our first game. And when we come back, this is our final break of the regular season. We're going to close out Sunday with Saiyan versus Monsanto.
Welcome to this edition of Around the Fern with TJ and Just Saiyan.
Happy to be here.
Glad to hear it. So I've talked to this about you before. I've never heard you exclaim. So we have an hour in this room, and my goal is going to be to get you to exclaim.
That's just not going to happen.
It is going to happen. Imagine you're walking down the street. You just got lunch. It's a delicious burrito. You're hungry. You haven't eaten in 2 days. Then some guy walks up on the street, punches you in the face, and steals your burrito. You're out of money. You don't have cash. You didn't drive there. You walked there an hour. And now this guy comes up and punches you and steals your burrito. How do you react?
I don't even like burritos. I thank the guy and say, whatever. I was waiting for
What's your
Uber Eats
favorite
anyway.
food?
I mean, it has to be something with rice, but like, I kind of like risotto. The Italian style is very nice.
Italian style risotto. Now imagine you're walking down the street, you get your Italian risotto, and then a guy comes up to you, punches you in the face, and steals your risotto. What do you do?
Actually, I just...
Do you yell? Do you
I
scream?
get confused. I'm mad.
You're mad, so you
But-
want to yell.
But then I think this guy probably needs it more than me. I don't think it's physically
Let's say you're in a
possible for me.
giant field and you're strapped to a chair. The only person that can save you is 1,000 yards away. If you don't yell to them to communicate to them, you're going to sit in that chair forever because that's the only other person on earth. Do you yell to them to save your life?
I mean, if he's the only other person on Earth, do I like this guy? Are we friends even?
He's blind.
I just admit that this is the end. Last person on Earth. I don't know about, like, is his personality nice? Like, is he fun to hang out with, or?
Can we play a game?
Yeah, we can play a game.
I'm gonna say a word, and you have to say it slightly louder. Risotto. 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 Risotto! 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 Risotto!
Risotto.
Monsanto versus Saiyan. The winner of this will improve, well, at least Monsanto, if he wins this, will improve his playoff positioning. Saiyan can be a little bit richer, I guess, in life. But there is one title that I have realized during the break, TJ. I did some counting.
Oh, I know what this is.
We actually have 3 players in a 3-way tie.
Final interview?
For the final interviews after 2 seasons.
Monsanto better win.
Monsanto, Frozen, and believe it or not, Just Saiyan has been interviewed 5 times at the end of our broadcast days. So we've had a lot of broadcast days here in HSGM. For a while, it was Dog who had 4 interviews at the end of the day, but Dog's no longer with us in Grandmasters. He's very much alive and streaming even right now. And then Bloody Face also recently got to the 4 mark. But Monsanto, Frozen, and Saiyan each been interviewed 5 times.
And Monsanto, we told him yesterday.
Oh, he knows.
He's had 24 hours to prepare a closing statement, and this is the biggest one of the season. Because not only is this the final interview of the day, it's also the final interview of the weekend. It's also the final interview of the regular season.
Yes.
He better come with something good, Dan.
Yes. He better come with something good.
But we'll see. He's got to win the series first. That's number 1 on his mind. And he's going to be trying to do it with the Druid up against Hunter. We saw Muzzy in this matchup earlier versus Gallon completely dismantle Gallon's Druid.
Job's done.
And now we get to see if Saiyan can do the same thing. Not quite as good of a curve, but starts the game with Dino Tamer Bran. Oftentimes very difficult for Druid to deal with. The earlier it comes down, the better.
Yep, the no mech curve makes Snip Snap a lot worse.
Oh. Not a good draw.
Not a good draw indeed. And you know what, TJ? It's been a hot minute since I've seen this, because every Highlander deck that we've seen have success, the Highlander Aggro Warrior, the Highlander Aggro Paladin, the Highlander Aggro Hunter, when they win, TJ, I've been saying it, they curve out and they have a safe curve. I'm telling you that my experience is a lot more like this, where it's more awkward, to say the least. Things don't line up cleanly. You have to kind of make do with what you got. I want to see how Saiyan handles this now.
Though, the mid game for this deck does pack quite a punch. He does have War Gear, Savannah Highmane, Dino Tamer Brand, Tiamat.
His hand is telling him to do one thing. Curve, which is to count down from 16. If Saiyan can deal 16 damage with Leroy and Dino Tamer Brand equaling 14, if he can get 16 damage, he'll be in good spot. Now, of course, it's not that simple. There's taunts in the way. There's heals that Drew can have. There's armor they can gain. The worthy expedition. I think Monsanto's looking for exactly Wrath in this spot. Crystal Power.
Starfall also good. Crystal Power. So what's the worst case scenario for Monsanto going into the next turn? Probably a War Gear on the 1/1.
3/3. Can't actually kill.
Oh, 8.
Yeah, can't kill it with Starfall.
But in both those situations, using the Crystal Power right now for two damage.
Oh.
If War Gear comes out, if it goes on the 3/3 or on the 1/1, Starfall clears the board.
True.
You can all.
Wow, that's actually like pretty next level. But then, are you telegraphing Starfall too hard?
Yeah. You could also just hero power.
What if they like Ziliax?
For no one.
Oh yeah, Ziliax. Oof.
Ziliax will take the 5 front loaded, and then
And then there's also, what if Houndmaster comes out? Then you have 3 health minions.
yeah.
Starfall's awkward there too.
I think I like Crystal Power slightly more, just slightly.
Yep.
War Gear. Get him. Oh yeah.
Dad, did somebody say 16?
Well, do you one better? And with the hold. Aware that this is a turn where you might need it for the Oasis Surgers.
Yep.
But at the same time, the Oasis Surger would just clean up the 8/8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got to do the Starfall here.
Starfall, Anubisat Defender, put that in the way of the War Gear mech thing.
Yes, but Leroy translates into more damage right now. Or whatever spell comes to the hand. Goblin Prank. Give a friendly minion +3/+3 and rush. Zephyrus. Wait, if he Goblin Pranks and Zephyrus, what would it offer him? It doesn't offer you Wind Fury, does it? Wait, Wind Fury is... It's +3/+3, so Wind Fury gives you 11 damage, and then you hit once and you hit face.
So it's 13.
Your wish is
No matter what, it's giving you some way to deal with this.
It's 3/5.
This 3/5.
Argent Protector. It's gotta be pain.
Yeah, pain and just push the damage. Monsanto needs to clear the board and heal up.
Yeah.
Or put an Atan away.
Oh, wow. TJ, I like this deck. It crushes. He needs Hidden Oasis, and even then, he's not out of the woods.
Hidden Oasis. Goblin Plank plus Leroy is 14, 15, 16. Oh, he'd be one off, wouldn't he? Because you'd Goblin Prank the Zephyrus, and then you push the 14 to face.
Yes, or can you like Spider Bomb?
I think it's Spider Bomb Hero Power and just set up. Could also just Dino Tamer Brand this turn, trade the 8/1, and then just push a bunch more and set it for Leroy.
I kind of like converting minions into damage. Like, can you Spring Paw, Goblin Prank, Weapon, and then like develop?
There's just not much development. I guess Spring Paw, Goblin Prank, Weapon, Spider Bomb, and you push 13. I mean, Dino Tamer Brand also just pushes the same, amount.
It's hard to stop this.
And it leaves an 8/8 on board, which is like, you get the damage in, and it leaves the 8/8. It's hard to pass that up on 7.
Yeah, Druid.
Monsanto is
dead.
He's incredibly dead.
He needs Nubisoth Wrath, and even then, if he got it, he's dead. Oh, or Drew Ludi. Doesn't matter though.
Cool, Wardrobe Lodi, dead on board.
Wow.
If he had Flight Master in his deck
Mamma
at the beginning
mia.
of the turn, he could Flight Master, Mind Control Tech, steal the King Crush.
It just so happens that Druid just does a little too much of nothing. I mean, Saiyan missed his early curve. He started the game at turn 3, and still Monsanto just died. Now, granted, Giant Timber Brand had a huge role in that, but the series is now tied, and that Hunter showing you why that tech is really nice. It's nice like that.
Yeah.
Come down to our final game of the regular season, TJ. Who is getting that winner's interview? I mean, we're not counting the postseason. We're only counting regular season.
Did you count the postseason in your?
I did not.
Okay. We didn't do that many interviews in the postseason because
Exactly.
we only interviewed after
They won the whole thing.
initial matches. We interviewed initial matches, and then we realized we're just asking them the same things. They haven't done
So
anything yet.
I didn't count that.
Yeah. And then the finals. So
Yeah. Funny enough, the final was PNC getting interviewed. PNC has not gotten a score.
really.
For end
oh,
of the
I
day.
see your tally marks.
Yeah,
wow.
I tallied it. Almost everyone else has gotten at least an interview to wrap up the day, but PNC is one of the players who did not.
Well, Dan, we have a pretty good amount of end of the day interviews. We've only missed a couple weeks. I missed one this season. You missed one this season. Last season we missed one.
That's right. We have
a pretty good
part
record.
of most of it.
Yeah.
All right. So with Priest Warrior and Shaman Druid remaining, I mean, it looks like Saiyan has that Priest if he feels confident against the aggressive Shaman. But if Saiyan has Warrior, Warrior is good against that aggressive Shaman and potentially weak against the Druid. I'm feeling like Saiyan might side with the Control Warrior here because he does not want to play the Priest against the Shaman unless he's so confident in that Priest that he's just going to go for it. Monsanto just goes for gold. He cues the Token Shaman saying he's going to play Priest. And then what does Saiyan play? Saiyan's playing the Priest!
Okay. This is a matchup
You've
I was hoping
activated
for.
my trap card.
This is a matchup I was hoping for. We saw Monsanto play this matchup yesterday. Had a very good start and was able to just crush Priest. It was embarrassing for the Priest. But it's not always the case. It does have some draws that, a little bit weird. It's got a Stormbringer and 2 Bloodless in the deck. So if you find those in your opening hand, you're really sad. Or if you find a Sea Giant in your opening hand and have no way to get on the board, you're really sad. But the nuts curve is just so hard to beat. It's just ridiculous. If you have Thunderhead into a bunch of overloads, you never lose control of the board.
Shall bring victory.
Let's see it.
Let's see it. Saiyan starts things off with Beaming Psychic, Extra Arms, Divine Spear, Silence. None of this really speaks to me very much. I think I kind of just want to get early game bored. And I mean, Beaming Psychic's decent, right? If you get Light Warden or you get Northshire Cleric. Extra Arms might actually be okay too. But if I'm Monsanto, I want one thing, which is Thunderhead. I guess you can make a case for the 2 drops, though. Underbelly Anchor and Evil Totem are both decent options.
Yeah, I think Evil Totem's a little bit too slow. I don't know.
This deck's weird.
It's weird because there's so many things you want to keep because in every situation you're like, well, I could use this card for something.
Right. Oh, like Lightning Bolt. I could Lightning Bolt a 1/3.
I can Lightning Bolt a 1/3. But double Evil Totem Lightning Bolt is not the hand that I want. Oh, Sludge Stripper. I like those.
Pretty good pickup, honestly. Although it does mess up his Evil Totem play. Next turn, if he see, so let's say he passes, he can see a Northshire Cleric, then he can Sludge Surfer and Lightning Bolt. But the upside is he might be able to utilize the Titanic Lackey or whatever Lackey he drew after that.
Hey, I got you, friend.
I like this Beamy Sidekick. Knows about the threat of Lightning Bolt. Doesn't want to just play directly into it. Titanic Lackey, though. Woo. The exact Lackey that he wanted.
Yeah, he could have got the Cobalt Lackey, but...
This is much better than Cobalt Lackey.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Circle of Healing. Does he want to Power Word Shield this too?
He's ceding a lot of board over to Monsanto.
Right. Well, Evil Totem, Lightning Bolt's the first thing that stuck out to me, but Underbelly Angler, now that he's in the hand, that is more stats. That being said, you don't have any Murlocs, so you could also just be playing River Crocolisk onto the board. Evil totems at least get you other things to do.
Potentially other very impactful things to do. Evil totem is also something that eventually just has to be dealt with by Saiyan, or else Monsanto can keep getting value off at each and every turn. If he lightning bolts, he goes into turn 4, 3 mana available.
Little time.
I think you just want to get it out of the way.
Looks like it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this isn't answered very easily. Saiyan has saved the coin for the Amet, and with no ability to deal with it, there's going to be some fireworks. Now, Monsanto, his response could be the same with what we've seen other people do, which is to trade into the Amet preemptively. That's not a great feeling. So does Monsanto just go wide?
And then Evil Totem, I think at this point, if you consider how much reload Saiyan could have next turn, you have to.
I think he's calculating maybe Bloodlust Lethal, if he can.
So he would kill 1 minion, he'd push 3, bring him down to 24. He would have 4 attack plus 5 minions. 19, it's not even close.
It's not close, but he does have direct damage in the deck.
Yeah, it's not as much direct damage as you would think in like the normal, or not the normal, the old aggro shaman.
Okay.
But Saiyan will like continue to be limited on the amount of attacks he can do. And if he can't clear this board, Monsanto's just going to keep loading up stuff and pushing chip damage, and eventually he might just be able to get there.
Wild Pyromancer, right? That's going to be the key.
Yeah, and Saiyan, because he runs the... Oh no, he does run double Wild Pyromancer.
15, 20. I mean, this Bloodlust is a lot of damage right now.
But can it be more?
It can, if you...
Or can he clear the board?
Oh, you're right.
So he has 5 damage on board plus 15, 20. He does it line up well? Bloodlust, then that's 5 plus 4.
I think I'd rather just be killing him.
Yeah. Well, he can Bloodlust and clear the board and still have a couple of things left.
True.
He would have the Underbelly Angler left and the upgradable Framebot left.
You can also Bloodlust and, like, try to go for... like evil totems to get lackeys to do other stuff. Combo Priest doesn't heal itself very well.
There's little time.
Another option is just to former champ and push all face and hope the opponent doesn't have Divine Spirit Inner Fires. Oh, Monsanto, he's going for it.
Like a butterfly.
All face?
Sting like a bee.
It's Goblin Lackey, that's more damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so Saiyan now wants to find a way to draw cards.
Psychopomp into Indra'Tolvir would be the juice.
But he did have...
Actually, if this is Indra'Tolvir, I don't think there's a way Monsanto gets through it.
Hey, I got you, friend.
Because you would have to get through the taunt, and then because Amet's on the board with 9 health, the Reborn taunt would also come back with 9 health. So it would have to be 18 health that Monsanto would have to get through.
I think Monsanto might just kill him now.
All right, so how much damage can he take off the board? He can take off 2, the Unbarely Angler, and then another 1. And so Monsanto would have 6, 7, 8 damage on board, plus 15, 23. Yeah.
I think Monsanto kills him. There's cards in Saiyan's deck that he can pull out here.
Someone injured?
Is there like a Forbidden Words?
No, there's no Forbidden Words. There's a Silence.
Silence doesn't do anything.
Topsy?
Topsy could do it. Topsy to kill the 0-2. But 5-8 plus 12 is 20. The Bloodlust gets there anyways. And Monsanto's aggressive Overload Shaman is going to get past the finish line.
Yeah.
Monsanto is going to advance to a 2nd seed. And that pushes Frozen down to 4th seed. Saiyan still stays number 1, but Monsanto's going to close out the season number 1 in day-ending interviews.
That's right. Watch him decline the interview.
I'd be so sad if that was the case.
I know. I mean, he told us that he'd prepare something in case he won yesterday, so I have high hopes. I don't want to put too much pressure on him just because, I don't know.
He's here. Don't worry,
Okay.
TJ. We just got confirmation that Monsanto is here, and he's going to talk to us.
Good luck.
Good luck to Monsanto. And that'll wrap it up for Division B, which ends with both Monsanto and Saiyan at 9 wins apiece. Let's go ahead and meet the man of the moment, Monsanto. Is he joining us? Monsanto, you there?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So we did some tallying, and you officially are number 1 in day-ending interviews here in Grandmasters for Americas at 6. Frozen and Saiyan were both at 5. So you officially beat them. This is the, of course, biggest honor.
Of Grandmasters.
I'll take it. Thank you.
So now that you're the
Of course,
official
boss.
champion after 2 seasons, what would you like to say, Monsanto?
Oh, it's the first question? We're unleashing it in question 1? You told us yesterday that you would prepare something.
I kind of did, but like, it's a bad idea, and I'm nervous now. Like, I learned a song on guitar.
What?
You
You,
know
learned a song on guitar for us?
You know the epic transition between EU and NA.
Yes.
Well, that one. But too many people watching, I think.
No, okay, Monsanto, it's
but
been a
one
rough day
thing
for a
is,
lot of
right
people.
Right after the stream, I'm gonna stream myself, and I'm gonna do it.
Ah, I like that. Monsanto's now converting people to his channel. Where are they going to watch it? What's your Twitch channel?
Monsanto, twitch.tv/Monsanto HS, I think.
Is it the same as your Twitter handle?
No.
Underscore? Oh, just Monsanto.
No, there's no underscore.
Okay, no underscore. All right.
Wow. All right. Well,
Keep in mind there's a delay, so don't go live right away
don't go
because
live
nobody
right
will
away.
tune in.
I'll wait the 35 minutes or whatever it is.
Okay. Does our production have the song for reference?
yeah.
Do you want us to
We'll
play it just for
right
reference?
now.
Just so people can know
Yeah.
what to expect?
Okay. What's the song? So we have the production ready to go.
Or at least in a moment.
He says it's the song that transitions from EU to NA.
Yeah.
Because they're asking which song it specifically.
Just go through a bunch.
Okay.
Okay, they're gonna work on it. They're gonna figure it out. They're gonna
All right.
decipher
We were
it.
hoping that we can play the music.
I'm sorry, but I wanted to make sure that like every single one of these interviews, I'm disappointing people.
God, these are great. All right, so you end the season in top 3. The Aggro Overload Shaman, wow, that ended up surprising a lot of people. Did it surprise you at all? I felt like that was a game where it was just like you were about to lose control of the board, but you just managed to squeeze past with the Bloodlust there. Is that reflective of your practice games?
Actually, in my practice, like I thought the matchup was super good against Priest, and then in my practice games, I realized the matchup is about 50-50, but they have to know what they're doing, and they have to have practiced a lot. Like I don't even think you keep Northshire Cleric. Like you really want bigger stuff, but and he kept like Sidekick, and I knew he had a 4-drop because he didn't coin the 12-year, so I kind of knew what was going on. And at the end, there was a turn I could clear with Bloodlust, but instead I decided to set up Lethal. That worked out. But yeah, the deck is good against Priest, and I killed into Priest twice with it, so it looked really good. The other matchups are a little bit worse.
Did you have any worry that, since Saiyan had Warrior left, I believe, at the end, did you have any worry that you might match the Shaman into the Warrior?
A little bit. I mean, I had Druid, which was terrible against Priest, but great against Warrior, and Shaman, which was good against Priest and terrible against Warrior. But one thing I know about Saiyan is that he hates Warrior, and it's not the deck he's the most comfortable with, so I assumed he was going to queue Priest, especially since I queued Druid right before. So, I mean, it was pretty obvious he was going to queue Priest, so.
Yeah.
Outskilled.
Outskilled, outprepped.
Outplayed.
Yeah.
All right, I think they told us we have the song ready.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear it.
Is this the song?
No.
No.
What
Get another
song
song.
is it then?
Another song. Just play anything random. Keep playing all of them. That one?
Is it this one?
Almost.
Almost.
No, it's actually not that.
I don't know how to play any of these songs on guitar, considering that this is an entire orchestral effort. So.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to be
This
good.
one?
Oh, I lost audio.
Oh.
How convenient.
How convenient.
When we play the guitar song.
Do you have audio now?
Yeah.
Is this the one?
There's no song playing.
Oh.
Guess we'll just have to find out some other time.
Yeah, I guess it'll just be a surprise. But you stumped our production team, Monsanto. Congratulations. So add them to the list of people you disappointed.
Nice.
All right, well, this interview has gone on pretty long, but it is the end of the season.
I think we can wrap it up right now.
All right.
I wanna say the best. I wish you the best, TJ. Hopefully you come back soon, and I guess Frodan, see you next week.
Well, thank you so much, man. I definitely appreciate that. I plan to be back soon, and I plan to interview you in the most awkward way possible as soon as I possibly
This
can.
one will be pretty hard to beat.
A lot of ours with Monsanto, I feel like, will be pretty hard to beat.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Goodbye.
Oh, wait. They said that hold on
I'm
one
leaving
second.
right away.
They said hold on 1 second.
Our production team said they had something special planned for the end of it. Why don't you just go do it? All right. Assume we're Monsanto.
I have no idea what's happening. I feel like
Yeah.
we're in a rehearsal at this
Just
point.
assume we're Monsanto. Okay, go ahead. All right. He said give me 20 seconds. Talk about something random.
All right. Well, next week's playoffs are going to be a condensed schedule. We have only a few of the matches happening. It's not going to be the conventional 5 matches that are predetermined. It's very fluid based off what ends up happening in the upper and lower bracket. And because TJ won't be joining us, it'll be myself, Admirable, and Sottle doing coverage, but we're going to mix it up. So it'll kind of be like the good old days where the casters rotated and we actually got something called breaks.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it. I'll try and watch when I can, but last spots for global finals on the line next week, so big deal.
Just had a weird dream, TJ.
Same.
That I was a Hearthstone caster
Yeah.
and I had like blue hair.
Wow, bizarre. Oh man.
Well, apparently they worked really hard. We spent the remaining budget of this show on that effect.
On
So
that
we hope
effect.
that you guys at home enjoyed it. So let's go ahead and recap the schedule of what happened today. I don't even know who planned this. As you can tell, we have no run of show or structure to this show.
I had no idea that was coming. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, they said we had something special prepared for Monsanto, and he missed it. So good for us. We started off with a playoff deciding match. Muzzy won 2-0 over Gallon. Gallon's season playoffs has come to an end, and Muzzy will be in 4th place at Division A. Then we had a farewell tour for Firebat versus Strifecrow, where Firebat was able to win and able to stop Strifecrow from the 4-0. Strifecrow has been relegated, but at the very least, we were able to talk to him and get some of his insight.
Yeah, and then we followed that up with, a featured matchup for many reasons, the relegation battle between Soleil and Race. And in that match, unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to Race in Grandmasters. But, great player, fought hard. There's no doubt in anybody's minds that he gave it his all over the course of this season. But that's just the unfortunate reality we live in right now in Grandmasters, where it's got to be somebody, and Race and StriveGrow are those players for Season 2.
That's right. We have Nalgadon and Eddie, which was a spot where Eddie has claimed first place. And then a spot that first place was already claimed with Saiyan, but Monsanto moved up from 4th to the top 3 and will as a result play a normal bracket. These are the final standings after 7 weeks of play. And Eddie and Saiyan are the #1 finishers of the division who will get a bye for their first round, while Frozen and Muzzy will be in the losers bracket but still have a chance to play for that final spot. And only one of these 8 players will be joining us at BlizzCon 2019.
Yeah, join PNC as the representatives for the Americas region. So looking forward to see who that's going to be. And keep in mind that playoffs is a little more robust this season. We have 4 players instead of 3. We also have a best of 5 semifinals as well as a best of 5 finals, whereas last season we had a best of 3 semifinals. So a little more robust, a lot more games, a lot more action to try and determine that last spot.
Meta is different.
Meta is going to be completely different. I had almost forgotten, but just in a couple short days, we're going to be seeing, I would assume, a pretty big meta shift with 23 of the most iconic cards from WoW being rotated back into Standard for a limited time. Some big shakeups, and not only does that affect things like just how players build their decks, but also what 8-drops you evolve your Mogu Flesh Shaper in. All of a sudden, we may be seeing Ragnaros the Firelord come out from those evolves, which could completely change the way some games go. I'm very excited to be a spectator.
It's going to be a good time. And, of course, I think I speak from everyone around the world, TJ, and that will miss you. Recover strong.
I will. Here, hug. A hug on broadcast, the riskiest thing you could ever do. Oh.
I love you, buddy.
Me too, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's been a wonderful 7 weeks of regular play, but we're not done yet. This Friday, we're going to resume it all over again. So make sure to follow the channel, twitch.tv/play Hearthstone. If you missed any part of this broadcast, if you want to see that hug one more time on VOD, go ahead and check us out at playhearthstone.com/esports. From Frodan, from Thomas Jefferson Sanders, that's not his real name, and everyone else here in Studio 5 in Burbank, California, thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time for more Hearthstone action.